Test, 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 test. Great. Hey, hey, welcome. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for joining me. Good morning, my cookies. I got a ton of show today. I'm really excited. So thanks for joining me. I'm doing two of my favorite summer meals, and it's something to keep fresh. And, you get into that kind of like burgers and hot dogs and a lot of that stuff. And this is a nice little fresh boost. Obviously, lobster and lobster rolls. Quintessential summer treat. A little expensive, that's why it's a treat, but I think they're worth it. I'm gonna be doing those today. Also, I got some chicken Thai lettuce wraps. Now these are great because they're essentially like carb free. No buns, no bread. You use the lettuce as a wrap. Really potent flavor. So we're gonna get a little fruit in there, a little mango, a little spice. You heat it up. I'm not a huge fan of fruit and meat, but it works. It's just like having a little fruit and salsa. Again, I'm not a huge fan of that, but this works. Trust me, it is going to be Gucci, my cookies. It's going to be Gucci. So welcome, welcome. First things first, let's start with our lobster rolls. This is quintessential summertime, Maine, Northeast. But you don't need to be in the Northeast to enjoy this. You can get lobster all over the U.S. Thanks to globalization and shipping and cold storage and all that stuff. Actually, I did a lobster tail recipe a couple years ago, and one of the things I did was I picked up the phone. I called all these supermarkets across the U.S. and I said, do you have frozen lobster tails? It's a lobster tail recipe. And they all did, and some of them were even cheaper than supermarkets in the Northeast. So if you were in Georgia, you could get a frozen lobster tail, cheaper than you could if you were in Massachusetts. It's just crazy. Anyway, all over the U.S. you can do this. If you can't get whole lobster, that's fine. Get some tails. You can steam them up, roast them up. I love roasting. It really concentrates that flavor and keeps them. It brings out that sweetness. Roasting really brings out that sweetness. And then cut it up and whatnot. If you do have whole lobster, great. Steam them, roast them, however you want. Get the meat out of the shell, and then you're good to go. And if you don't want to go through all that trouble, you can pay a premium and get that picked lobster meat. So I have right here some picked lobster meat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up, and I'm going to make a really simple dressing. Now the whole point is to let the lobster shine. So we're not going to gussy it up too much. I got about 6 tablespoons melted butter here. I'm going to use that to do the buns, and I'm also going to incorporate it in because I love butter on lobster. 3 main things here: mayonnaise, butter, lemon juice. Lemon juice keeps it fresh, keeps any of those off flavors away. Mayonnaise for coating and butter for that flavor. All right, so let's get started. First things first, I'm going to make the dressing. I'm going to start. I have about maybe 1.5 pounds of picked meat. You can do this for 1 pound as well. It'll scale nicely. All right. So first things first, I'm going to make my sauce. Hey, Wolf, what's going on? Yeah, it is. It is way too easy. You want to bring out that sweetness. You want to bring out that sweet, savory, delicious lobster meat. So I am going to do mayonnaise because I think it helps coat just better than just straight butter. So I'm going to do for 1.5 pounds of lobster meat. This is picked lobster meat, not 1.5 pounds of lobsters. 1.5 pounds of meat. So you normally get about 1/4 pound for every pound of lobster. So price that in. I'm going to do about 3 tablespoons mayonnaise here. It's not a lot. Tablespoon per 1/2 pound. It's not a lot. All right, I got to get my celery in here as well. So let's mince up some celery. I'm going to do about 3 tablespoons of celery. So it's going to be about 1 rib, actually maybe less. Don't go overboard. And I want it really chopped fine here. So I'm just slicing lengthwise. Now celery's nice because it's not too sweet. That sounds like a really good memory, Wolf. Yeah, I used to live in Massachusetts. It was like an hour to drive up to Maine, the southern part where York was. And I mean, it's just amazing in the summer. Just amazing. So many friends up there too, you know. Go out. They pick up their traps. You just have lobster, or you could just buy them off the boat from guys, you know. Just be out boating and bump into a guy and say, "Hey, got any extra lobster? You know, we'll give you $10 a lobster," or whatever it was. All right, there's plenty of celery here. Save these for the kiddos. All right, I'm actually only going to use about half that. All right, chives. This will add a nice little onioniness to it, but again, it's very, very faint. This isn't a potent onion flavor like raw onions might be. It's subtle. So I'm going to do about half a tablespoon, which is about 1.5 teaspoons. Not about, exactly 1.5 teaspoons. Nice little pop of green there. All right, next up, I'm going to do maybe 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I got kosher salt. Do less if you do table salt. All right, and now we're going to get some lemon juice. 2 teaspoons. You can always season with extra. One. 2. Alright, we're going to butter up those hot dog buns too. And then I'm going to teach you a little trick. If you want to make these ahead of time for a party, you want to make like, 30 of these, maybe, I don't know, 15, cut them in half so you have 30. We're going to put a little bib lettuce in the bun. And that's just a nice way to keep the bun from getting soggy and all that jazz if they're going to be sitting for a while. If you're going to eat them immediately, I don't think you need it. But that's just me. All right. So we got our butter, we got our mayo, we got our lemon juice. Ooh, yeah. All right. And do the buns real fast. Now, if you do a lobster roll, you almost have to get the buns that are cut in the top. Yeah, you don't want soggy buns there, Wolf. So it's really hard to do anything but the outside. So that's all I'm going to do. Ah, yeah, butter. All right, I'm just going to pop it on the stove. Toast it up, both sides. I don't know, I'll make 4 of these because I know I'm going to eat at least 2. All right. Get a little extra butter, that's fine. Ooh, man, that seared up quick. All right, next up, I gotta cut up this beautiful, beautiful meat. Give it a little taste here. Oh God, that just takes me back. It just takes me back to the Northeast. Holy moly. All right, there's one. Let's get chopping this though. Tried to pat it dry. Again, you want to get rid of excess liquid here. And chop it up. Don't chop it up too small. Piece like this, perfect size. I'm just going to add it in here as I cut it. Woo-wee. These are hot. All right, let me give everything a wipe, and then we'll keep going. All right, here we go. I'll do a couple here. Ooh, yeah. All right, let's toss this around. And you see, it's just getting a nice little coating, but you still see the lobster. It's very vibrant. I'm just going to give a taste. Mmm. Mmm. All right, I'm going to put a little bit more salt in. Teeny bit more lemon. Maybe a teaspoon. Just want it to pop a little more. And then a little bit more butter. Mmm. All right. Oh my God, I'm so excited for this. All right, let's toss this around. And you want this like room temperature. You don't want the lobster really cold. It tastes so much better when it's warm. Those flavors come out. All right, I'm gonna do one regular, which I'll eat. And one with a bib lettuce. All right, look at this. Boom, perfect size. And this is how you make them ahead. Get them overflowing. Oh my gosh. Look at that puppy. All right, now one without any lettuce. Remember, we buttered these hot dog buns. So it's going to be extra buttery. Look at that. Oh, that. It's definitely worth it. All right, let me do a little taste test here. Oh my God, I'm gonna get this all over my microphone. This is so good. You get that fresh lobster flavor. It's so delicate, and you just kind of enhanced it. You've enhanced it with some butter, a little lemon. That mayonnaise just helps everything coat. Doesn't really add too much except a teeny bit of tang. The chives are just there. Good background. This isn't one note. And then the butter on the bun. Oh my God. This just screams summer. What a mess. What a delicious mess. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Alright, I know you don't want me just stand here and eat. I could do this all day. I can get this aside. We'll do our Thai lettuce wraps. Oh my gosh. Let's do one more quick look here. Hudson, get out of here, please. Pupper's invading. All right, next up is another one of my favorite summertime treats. Thai chicken lettuce wraps. Now these are great. They're dirt simple. It's not a good word. Dumb simple? They're just simple. They're so simple. And they pop, and you don't have to spend all day in the kitchen making them. So what I did was I poached some chicken. So I put some chicken breast in a pot, covered it with cold water as high as it would go. Brought it up to about 185 degrees, covered it, took it off the heat, just let it sit. And I was looking for the chicken to get to, you want to get to 165 degrees. That's what the FDA says. Mine got to 160. I'm fine with that, but I have to push the 165. All right. So I'm going to get it out, and I'm going to shred it. But while it cools, I'm going to make my kind of dressing. And we're really going to pop with some herbs. If you can get Thai basil, great. You can sub regular basil, but if you can get Thai basil, it really makes this dish. This chicken is not a looker. So I'm going to let that cool. All right, so while that's cooling, oh man, I hit it on the wrong thing. All right, I'm going to do that again. All right, so next up, my Thai chicken lettuce wraps. Now, I love this in the summer. It's great because you don't have to spend all day in the kitchen. So what I did was I put chicken breasts in a pot, covered them as high as it would go, cold water, brought it up to about 185 degrees, covered, took it off the heat, let it just sit. I want to bring my chicken up to about 165 degrees. Mine got to 160, which is fine for me, but I should tell you, take it to 165. So while those are cooling, let them cool, we're going to make the dressing. All right, we got Thai basil, we got mint. You can use regular basil instead of Thai. That's fine, but Thai basil really makes it. I couldn't find it, so I'm using regular basil, but what are you going to do? Get some fish sauce in there. Going to get some fresh ripe mango. Ooh, and a little bit of chili pepper. Now, I love Thai chilies. They're hard to find. I'm going to be using a Fresno. A little bit of heat here is nice. Heat's great in the summer. Spicy food makes you sweat without actually heating you up. So spicy food will cool you down. Crazy concept. All right, let's go. Gather your ingredients. I got basil, Thai basil preferred, mint. I'm going to use some garlic. My Fresno chili, shallot, mango, whole bunch of limes. All right. Let's make the dressing. We're going to juice these limes up. These are not great limes, so I have to use a lot of them. You want a few tablespoons here. Again, I'm shooting for 3 tablespoons. I'm using 3 limes. I don't know if it's going to take a fourth or not. These are kind of rock hard. Again, 3 tablespoons lime juice. Alright, I'm going to do a shallot. Maybe a couple tablespoons. Shallot's fine. Hey, come here. Alright, about 3 tablespoons shallot. Alright, I did my 3 tablespoons of shallot. Now I'm doing 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. If you don't know what fish sauce is, it's very Thai. Ooh. Ooh, it should smell like a cross between a rotted, wet dog and I can't even think of anything. It does not smell good, but oh my god, it is so good when you add it to stuff. It really just makes everything pop. It's very salty, so I'm not going to add any salt to this dressing. 2 tablespoons of this stuff. This is what really makes it Thai. I really also prefer Red Boat. I think they do a great job. Now, sometimes you have to refrigerate, sometimes you don't. I refrigerate Red Boat. Ooh-wee. Tablespoon of this stuff has 1,430 milligrams of salt. So this is salty stuff. All right. That's pretty much our dressing. So we got about 3 to 4 tablespoons of lime juice, about 3 tablespoons of shallot, 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. Oh, we need garlic and a little bit of sugar. I'm gonna do 1 garlic clove. Let's mince it up. All right, now we're going to add about a teaspoon and a half of brown sugar. Now, if you know Thai food, sweet, salty, sour, these are a lot of the basis for their flavors. All right, I got packed brown sugar, and I'm going to add, actually I'm going to add about a tablespoon. Perfect. Twist that up. Now it's time for the chicken. Not a looker. I get it. It's been poached. It'll look good, I promise. So it's still a little hot, but it's cooled enough so I can handle it. And I'm just going to rip out any of this stuff in here. Collagen-y, ligament, whatever. Make sure it doesn't end up in my final dish. And again, this is great for summer picnics. Take it out, it's easy, don't have to worry about bread getting squashed. Make it a head. All right, so I'm just going to shred this into bite-sized pieces. You don't want anything longer than a couple inches. Oh, it's so juicy. This poaching it, I'm telling you, is the way to go. You could always buy a rotisserie chicken at a store and shred it up too. It'll be a little bit more dried out, but I like the juicy. Gotta let my dog in soon. Barking up a storm. All right, here we go. So we're going to toss this in the dressing, we're going to let it sit, and then we're going to prep the rest of our ingredients. And that will stir in after this is kind of marinated for a little bit, soaked up all that good dressing goodness. Oh no. Lost the tip of my microphone someplace. Good thing I got a backup. All right. Sound check time. I am good. All right, let's toss this chicken with our dressing all together here. Ooh, I smell that fish sauce and that lime, that sugar. Sweet, salty, sour. These are the flavors. All right, we're going to let that sit and we're going to prep the rest of our ingredients. Basil, mint, mango, Fresno chili or Thai chili peppers if you got them. You want a really nice ripe mango here. All right. Not ripe but firm. Ripe. You want this ripe. I like to keep the skin on the mango and cut around the seed here. If you have one of those mango cutters, I used one for the longest time. Fantastic. It made it super easy. Ooh, give this to my kids to gnaw on later. Oh, this is such a juicy mango. I love it. Right. I want to chop these up pretty fine. This might actually be too much mango. This is a really big mango. So I'm not going to do it all. All right, next up, you're going to want a lot of mint, a lot of Thai basil, and a Fresno. Let's do the Fresno, or Thai chilies, as I've said a dozen times. Here we go. You know, fun fact is the seeds aren't really even that spicy. What's spicy are the ribs, the white ribs. And the reason why everyone thinks the seeds are spicy is because what do the seeds stick to? The white ribs, that's right. So if you cut out the right white ribs, you take out the majority of the spice. So I'm going to cut this pretty fine as well. I want it evenly distributed throughout. Hey, I'm filming you. You're worse than Derek. Thank you. Shush, please. All right, so you want, oh, you also want cilantro. You want about the same amount for each. I like maybe a quarter cup chopped. Ooh, smell that basil. Oh, picking mint takes me back to my restaurant days. Love me cilantro. All right, I'm just going to chop all this up together, get it nice and mixed. Mint, basil, cilantro. You want about 3/4 of a cup total, all three of those. So 1/4 cup each, chopped up. You want them relatively big, but you don't want whole leaves here. That in. Just gonna toss it around now. Look at the mango, the Fresno, all those herbs, that potent fish sauce dressing. Look at this. Dare I say this is healthy? I'm looking forward to this. Yeah, it is colorful AF, Wolf. I'd quote you on that, but my little girl just walked in. All right, here we go. Couldn't get proper bib, but I got close enough. Don't overstuff these. Oh, yes. All right, let's do a taste test. Call it a day. It's gonna do a big shout out. Thank you, Wolf, for joining me. So I'm gonna trim this up, put it on YouTube. So if you ever want to reference the recipe, it'll be there, or TikTok, or whatnot. All right, let's taste test this now. Oh my God. Such an evolution of flavor. You get this first big juicy bite of the chicken. So juicy. And then the herbs come in. And right as you're getting hit with that sweet mango, the Fresno, that Thai chili, really starts to like heat up. But it's not overpowering. It's like a tingle on the tongue. It's just really good. It's so fresh. That salty fish sauce too. It doesn't taste like it smells. It just adds a really kind of deep umami boom. Oh my gosh. So good. So fresh. I like bib lettuce here. It tends to come in these leaves. This is baby butterhead. You just need a big you need a big flat piece of green lettuce. Looks like this. This for lettuce wraps is great. Romaine, you got more of a rib, so it'll snap and break on you. Same with iceberg. This is a lot more flexible. I love it. This is just so fresh. It's very summery. I was worried it was going to be too much mango. It's just the right amount. Yeah, they didn't have bib. They didn't have Thai basil. They didn't have my Thai chilies. They didn't have my bib. It's like, 3 supermarkets. And I don't live in the middle of nowhere. Infinem, what is going on? Welcome. I'm just about to wrap up. I did these Thai lettuce wraps. Chicken, herbs, mango. And I did these lobster rolls here too. I'm going to give one to my wife right now. Here. Enjoy.
Thank you.
They can't hear or see you.
Well, you can tell them it smells delicious.
I'll tell them that.
Also good.
Yeah, I'm doing well. Thanks so much, Infinem. Thanks for joining. I'm literally about to sign off. So, thank you two for showing up. Again, I'm going to trim these down. So if you ever want to reference these recipes, I'll put them on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. And go from there. So thanks so much for joining me. We did our New England lobster roll, just fantastic. Kept it really simple. And we did our Thai chicken lettuce wraps. So thanks again. And I'll see you all next time. All right, take care.
Are you off?
Nope.